The NFL season, the 100th season, has ended. It is now time for the playoffs. We've gone from 32 teams down to 12. And whoa, we've got quite a lineup here. Believe it or not, we've got a few of them that seem like a surprise, but at the same time, should we expect more? Who knows? Anyway, let's take a look at the representatives. First off, the number one seed, home field advantage in the AFC, goes to the Baltimore Ravens. The number two seed, representing the AFC West, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. The third seed, part one of the wild card, hosting from the first week, the New England Patriots. And from the AFC South, the fourth seed, the Houston Texans. The first wild card, and representing the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. And they will take on the Texans. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots will take on the second wildcard team, representing the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. On to the NFC. Number one seed, home field advantage, representing the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers. The number two seed, the first round bye, representing the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers. Number three seed, representing the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. And now the fourth seed, representing the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. The wildcard teams. The ones who will take on the Eagles will be the number 5 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. Lastly, rounding up the teams, the second wildcard team taking on the New Orleans Saints, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, time for my predictions. Well, here's how it's going to go. First off, we've got quite a lineup. On Saturday, we'll have the AFC teams going at it. On Sunday, we'll have the NFC teams. So let's go off with the first one between New England and Tennessee. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think this is going to end up in a shootout between Tom Brady and Ryan Tannehill. Or as Childadas would like to call him, Ryan, Jack, and Jill went up the Tannehill, and you know the rest. Come on. Okay. But after some discussion, this is actually quite a contest. How often do you actually get to see Tom Brady in the wild card? Hardly. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, they're just unbeatable. That's all you need to know. Except for now. This is an interesting matchup. Because one, taking on a team that has rebounded ever since Marcus Mariota stepped down and was replaced by Ryan Tannehill, who came over from Miami. Talk about a journey. But as far as that goes, the depleted offense of the New England Patriots, including losing Josh Gordon midseason in a trade to Seattle, and then Seattle losing Josh Gordon to a suspension, but this is going to be an interesting shootout, in which I'm going to have to say this is going to be rare for me, and I'm going to be getting a lot of hate from someone on Facebook. But this is going to be a huge shootout, and it's going to end up as a 42-34 victory for the Titans. I see this as a combination of Ryan Tannehill and, if I may borrow Adonis once again, Henry! Derrick Henry. I mean, those two are practically a team themselves, and they're gonna outpace the Patriots for that one. The second game is between the Texans and the Bills. A couple of horned beasts going at it, don't you think? I would argue that this is another shootout between quarterbacks, this time Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen. But I don't see it going that way. What I instead see is that if I may, you see, is that it will be a bit of a, oh, good job, you made it to the playoffs. I'm going to have to send you out anyway. Goodbye, Bills. No one circles the bandwagon of defeating like the Buffalo Bills. Oh, no. Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. I mean, come on. You got more offense known. Well, you got more team known on the Texans than you do on the Bills. I mean, what else do you have besides Josh Allen? Micah Hyde? I don't see. I don't see the Bills surviving this one. In fact, I see it more as a 28-17 slot takedown, in which I actually see it this way now. Excuse me. Going into the divisional series, it's going to go Ravens hosting the Titans, and the Texans going to Kansas City for that rematch. Now let's switch over to the NFC, and we're going to discuss about those games. Now this is the third time in, I would argue, 10 years where the Vikings and the Saints have battled. The first time was the NFC Championship game, in which it was Favre's last playoff game. Brett Favre, of course, and that was quite well placed disaster. And then you got like a few years ago when you had the miracle in Minnesota, the Minneapolis Miracle of Case Keenum throwing it to Stephon Diggs, who catches it and then runs it into the end zone as time expires. I mean, I saw that play. I'm like, what just happened? What just happened? You're telling me? And of course, he also had the whole skull, 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 skull. That skull changed. But keep in mind, this is going to be taking place in New Orleans, in the Superdome. And New Orleans is unbeatable there. So, yeah, unbeatable. And besides, it's not Case Keenum anymore. It's not Brett Favre anymore. It's not Terry Bridgewater. It's Kirk Cousins. But they have a chance. And here's what I mean. The only chance they have is if they siphon the Saints' human Swiss Army knife, Taysom Hill. And that is going to be hard to do. Not only can he play good offense, he plays good defense. This guy is an all around package. If you can't stop Taysom Hill, you don't have a chance. But Taysom Hill is so good, I can't go anywhere around it. Taysom Hill should be the key factor of this, in which I'm going to say that the Saints are going to Green Bay. No, wait, no, that's not right. No, Saints will go. Yeah, Saints will go to Green Bay with a 38. No, not 38. A 31-20 victory. And now the last matchup between the Seahawks and the Eagles. And these two teams have actually battled before earlier this season. It was a sloppy mess. Surprised that points actually came out. But hopefully the field conditions are a little better. The weather, on the other hand, that could play a big factor as well. But let's get back down to business. I mean, that game was a disaster. This game may not be so much. What does Carson Wentz have that, I don't know, Russell Wilson don't have? I don't know. But I can tell you this much. Marshawn Lynch is back. And if Lynch is back, this is going only one way. The Eagles got in by luck that they outdueled the Cowboys. But that's all I'm going to say right there. As the Cowboys lose to the Eagles, and then they couldn't advance, but the Eagles will not advance either. They're not going to San Francisco. Instead, there's going to be a rubber match between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, in which the Seattle Seahawks will go to Levi Stadium with a 31-10 victory. So let me recap. I have the Titans, the Texans, the Saints, and the Seahawks moving on. And I want to say goodbye to the Patriots, the Bills, the Eagles, and the Vikings. Those are my picks. I love to see yours.